This is the old 77 podcast. Hey, bitches.
Thank you for listening to the old 77 podcast. Eagles stink.
Look at that guy.
E Honda,
Right?
Yeah, that guy was a beast.
I feel sorry for
I've
E-Honda's
only watched it
wife.
once because I just come across it on Facebook.
but I'm enjoying watching it right now. It's actually
Yeah, it's
pretty
cool, right?
entertaining. Yeah.
His wife's name is Pancake.
Who are you? Hey, bitches. This is old 77 podcast.
It's a safe place.
In an unsafe world.
That kind of thinking, that's what's scary.
Warning, foul language may occur due to the subject matter.
Those bastards know how to partay.
Become a subscriber at patreon.com/theold77podcast. Subscribers get bonus content and early access to episodes. Find out more at patreon.com/theold77podcast. Thanks for listening.
Hey, bitches.
Okay, here we go.
From the friendly confines of the old 77 studio, this is the old 77.
It's a safe place.
In an unsafe world.
Boys, we're back in the studio.
Back
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Last flight was a blast on
Dude,
Sunday.
That was so fun.
Hell of a
And
good
it went
time.
by so fast.
we were there.
for like 5 hours or something.
That is right, about
Yes.
5 hours, yeah.
Yeah, about towards the end of the show, you can tell we'd been there about 5 hours, too.
Me and Maddie's wives both left. You're stuck around, right?
Yeah. She took me home.
Yeah.
What a great show, though. We had so many people on, and it was more of a celebration of the show because of the 77th episode.
Right.
Well, and we had, representation from 2/3 of our Patreon subscribers, which was
Right.
awesome too. We'll forgive JT. He
You
couldn't
can't.
make it.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
that
couldn't make it
that
here all
plane
the way
ticket from
New Zealand.
that plane ticket from Auckland's pretty expensive.
Yeah, the boat's too slow,
Yeah.
so we'll give him a rain check on
He
that.
wanted to
one,
be
man.
here, though, trust me.
Yes, he did.
But shout out to Last Flight again, Jared and Mark, who wasn't there. Will, we were
They
really
did a great job, too.
absolutely. They hopped on the mic for the first segment, and we learned a lot about their company. And you know that brewery really does mean a lot to this community
Already.
already.
Yeah.
I mean, they did something great in just and within a year.
I mean, they filled a void that this town needed, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
It was a labor of passion. It was just something that Jared and Will and the rest of the team. It was just began as an idea in somebody's head, and now look at them now.
And quite frankly, they're damn good at it.
Yeah.
You know?
Every beer tastes good, even if it's like something so
I had a
something
pumpkin beer.
different.
Right.
With that, what is it? The sour.
Like
the
the
sours?
Yeah.
the sours.
I had a
very-
raspberry lemonade something. Yeah.
How
it
was
good.
that?
It was yummy.
I tried
Delicious.
this strawberry rhubarb sour. It was a tad too tart.
But
Yeah.
that's like for your taste,
Right,
Yeah.
just for me. But as sours go, man, it hit the notes.
Do you guys go for the pumpkin flavored drinks
I
elsewhere?
I think I drank like 3 of them.
Normally I
Fair.
don't.
Yeah.
But it tasted damn good there.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not.
I don't.
I think I burned myself. I
Yeah.
burned myself out of on pumpkin a while back.
Yeah, me too.
But
It's amazing that
I
not
had
everybody
3.
has.
I had 3 pumpkins there because it was so good.
I think I had three
I think
or
I
four.
had 5 total.
Yeah.
It's a good haul.
I think I had about 5 or 6 beers too.
But
Yeah.
being there all afternoon, like 5 hours, 5 beers, that's not too bad.
No.
It's a beer
No.
an hour.
No, it wasn't a slosh fest. We had some fun
Even
though.
though I felt like that at the end.
Yeah, we had some fun though. We were talking off the air. Taylor was nice enough to bring some nails and some cards and
That guy was going to town, man.
Oh,
he
man,
gave us a gift.
Right.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes.
That rebar bent
Sitting
into a
right over
77.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right underneath
With
our
a
old
big
77
plaque
sign.
welded on
Yeah.
the old 77.
So
If
thank-
we get any more,
Thanks, Biscuit, for that.
Yeah,
man.
dude, that's freaking awesome. If we get any more
Swag.
in here, guys,
I know we got a lot of trophies rolling.
we're gonna have
on.
to start taking some other shit down here
Yeah.
before too long.
But shout out to Angel for joining us
Yes.
at the podcast.
Yeah.
All of our kids were there,
Yep.
and towards the end, they all came on.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jason, my buddy Jason. He actually wants to come on and
That dude been a horseshoe.
Talk.
Yes,
He-
he did.
Right?
a horseshoe and a nail.
And a nail.
Yeah.
Well, the nail was just nothing after the horseshoe.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Did you see his? Did you see his hands?
yeah,
his
he had
forearms.
he had some paws on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does that guy do? Does he like beat skulls for a living.
Yeah, he protects me. Him and Angel.
He's the guy that uses the other guy from Kansas City when he needs to put hits out on people.
Oh my God, you guys hear about that? So
Yeah.
the dude, what's his name? I don't have my phone on me all of a sudden.
Yeah, I know. I don't have it pulled up. I think Maddie's got it
I
pulled
was
up.
saying, anybody got it pulled up?
So
What's his cat's name?
Let's see
Is
here.
it like Hector or something?
Something Hispanic sounding.
So he
think
was
it's-
caught in St. Louis.
Okay, so we caught him in St. Louis.
Yeah.
But here's I do have some audio for this.
Oh man.
So let's
There
bring
we
her
go.
up
All
real
right,
quick.
sure, up there.
Cue this up.
A suspected serial killer in custody, and new at 4. Investigators say it took the work of both local and federal authorities to track him down. Hello to you. I'm Lauren Traeger, in for Samantha Jones. Perez Reed is suspected of shootings and homicides in Missouri and in Kansas.
Now check this out, man.
Perez Reed.
Look at the timeline on this. There's 6 different shootings.
Okay. In St. Louis alone?
Yeah,
Or?
3 homicides and 2 attempts.
And they're all like, there's 6 shootings on the screen there, and they were all within like 2 weeks of each other too.
This guy's been busy, man.
North St. Louis and also down in South St. Louis as well.
Yeah, I heard it
We're
was
taking a-
north.
Yeah.
North
Look
and
now
South
at the
St. Louis.
incidents authorities say he is connected to in and around the St. Louis area. 6 shootings in a span of 2 weeks, 4 of them deadly. News 4's Russell Kinsell has reaction from investigators and from victims' family members. He's live for us this afternoon in Clayton.
Clayton's not used to seeing
Lauren,
that
at
kind
a
of
press
stuff.
conference.
I'm going to try to forward
No,
this.
I don't know, man. Clayton's seen its fair share.
See, I always thought all of the sea towns near St. Louis, aren't those more the upscale places like Creve Coeur
Yeah.
and
Clayton's a nice place, but if you remember a few years ago, that was the one where they were in the middle of a city council meeting, and a dude rolled up in there to air his grievance, and he said his piece, and they kind of got into a back and forth, and the dude just pulled out a gun and started blasting.
Yeah.
Shot and
Jesus.
killed, like, I think the mayor and, like, maybe the deputy mayor, maybe, and he got, like, a couple aldermen, and before they finally killed him. I mean, it was a thing.
I have some more on this guy.
And now has been charged.
For over 2 months now, these detectives have worked tirelessly on this
This is the,
case,
St. Louis
which
Police
has brought us
Department
to
talking.
this successful result. I am certain that without their efforts, this subject would have went on and committed more homicides.
look at that guy.
It sounds like gang activity to me.
25-year-old Perez
Right.
Reed is being held in federal custody on a suspicion of transporting a firearm across the state line with the intent to commit a felony. His crime spree is believed to have started in St. Louis
That hair,
County on
though.
September
That
12th.
hair, yeah.
September 12th.
Oh, wow.
So it's November now.
Yeah.
This has been going on for a little while.
He's been rolling for a little, a wee
You
bit.
see me rolling.
So
hating.
if you're the guy that does the hits for the mob,
Yeah.
does that
he doesn't
technically
look
make-
like he doesn't look like he's in the mafia at all.
Well, does that technically make you a serial killer?
No,
if
that's what I'm getting
if
at.
that's
Maybe
just your job.
like gang activity.
I think he's more of a gang member.
It sounds like mob style mentality. though.
Yeah.
Not necessarily
charged-
Italian mentality.
Right.
With shooting a 16-year-old here on Glen Owen Drive the next day. 2 of the homicides were in St.
16-year-old.
I mean, just because he's 16 in St. Louis North Side doesn't really mean much.
Right.
We got a story coming up later about a 13-year-old getting shot in North Side St. Louis.
Louis County, 2 in St. Louis City. 49-year-old Pam Abercrombie
Female.
was shot at the intersection of West Florissant and East Prairie in St. Louis. I spoke with a relative who was glad a suspect has been arrested.
Well, I want the world to know about my cousin, that she was an amazing mother, grandmother. She was a hustler. She was not a...
She's a hustler, baby.
She's a hustler, baby.
She was working that ass.
A sex worker. She was... She
Oh,
had a whole
never mind. Sorry. My bad.
Unfortunate.
boyfriend that she lived with in the area, so she was an amazing person.
I'm sure she was.
I'm sure she was.
She was a
Day-Day.
sex worker.
No, she was not a sex
Oh,
worker.
I
She
thought
said-
that was what that.
After I made my comment, now I feel like a dick bag.
Yeah.
I'm a hustler, baby. She wasn't no sex worker.
Well, regardless of,
So this guy, hopefully, I mean, this guy's going to prison.
Oh yeah,
it's looking that way.
But honestly, like in today's world, it's really hard to be a serial killer with all the forensics.
We were talking about that earlier.
I mean, we
were
talked about
talking
this
about
before on the
that.
podcast.
Yeah.
It's you know, back in the 70s and 80s, where like, especially the 70s and 60s.
Yeah.
where
Well,
you
I
had-
feel like the '60s were the heyday, the
well,
golden age.
You had the
serial killers,
Zodiac, and then you had the Golden State Killer.
Right.
I mean, you really had to catch these guys in the act.
Yeah.
I mean, the DNA testing on semen and other
Right,
bodily fluids
it wasn't a thing.
Wasn't really that advanced yet.
All you could get was blood type out of all that shit.
Right.
And fingerprints.
Right.
What was your theory, Scotty, about...
about the future?
Yeah, about the
so
future.
So my theory is coming up, like, we're going to get, like, say you'll have, like, programmable DNA, right? You can just plug and play anybody's DNA you want. And you'll have, like, a little, like a softball, like a kitten ball, you know, when you're done doing whatever you're doing in this room, you toss it in, and after 5-10 seconds, it just explodes with DNA everywhere.
And you get a big money shot of DNA.
Right, it's like a huge money shot. Now there's so much DNA that it's useless.
Nobody can tell. I don't know, man. But I feel like that feels like something that not everybody would probably have access to. You know what I mean?
I'm thinking that's going to be like a high level, you know.
Yes.
We're talking like a Jason Bourne type thing at first.
Government
But
agency.
that shit'll trickle down, you know.
God, I hope nukes don't ever trickle down.
Right? And they're suitcase size now. You could steal one from God knows where in Russia because they don't keep they don't keep tabs on their nukes over there.
Yeah.
Anybody can just roll up in and steal one.
Yeah, it's just a bad situation, man.
Come into the country somewhere. And do you think that'll happen in our lifetime?
What, another nuke?
No, not another, because God, we've not had.
Well, I mean, just...
So you think somebody will smuggle a nuclear weapon in and detonate it in a major metropolitan area?
No, I think it's harder to do that now.
I think it's a hell of a lot harder to do
Our
that now.
There's things that scan that shit now.
Right.
Yeah,
and
but...
we can track it from miles away.
Well, I don't know, man.
I'd like to hope there is, though.
I hope.
I want to believe there is.
I want to believe there is.
Because, I mean, I just saw another article about them catching some fucking submarine that drug smugglers were using. I mean, people are creative about getting shit into this country.
They are. I just read a story the other day about a kid in Kansas who was like 15, 16 in like the 80s who built his own nuclear reactor and like in his backyard, right? And like the government had to come in and shut it down and had to decontaminate all this shit.
I mean,
come to find out he'd irradiated like, I don't know, so many 100,000 people just from having this.
And himself.
And himself,
of course,
right?
Yeah.
But if a kid like that can do it, what's to stop, a bunch of terrorists coming over and building their own?
Yes, especially with the free flow of information that we have on the internet, man.
Exactly.
You can figure out how to do
I
anything.
think if you're looking at this hypothetical situation, these hypothetical terrorists, they have to be, well, for one, they have to be that sophisticated.
They have to be smart, and that's
they can't be these like these morons who are over there in the Middle East where they're just living caves
killing
and shit.
killing people because they're
killing
playing
families
music and women are learning.
Right.
Yeah.
They're whipping women
But-
in the middle of the street in front of everyone.
But they were smart enough to fly 2 planes into the towers,
True. And that's what I'm
Well,
getting
they got
at.
us off guard there,
It
that's for
only
sure.
takes
With box
that-
cutters.
right?
Yeah.
It only takes that one time. That's
Yeah.
all it takes.
Yeah.
That's a fear.
It
that
is.
something like that's going to happen.
For sure. Absolutely.
But another fear is I'm going to get off work one night and I'm going to roll into my car and somebody is going to carjack me.
I always have that.
You ever have that fear?
That nightmare as well.
Thankfully, no, I have not.
There is this kid in St. Louis. We were talking about it earlier, alluding
Mm-hmm.
to it, but I'm not going to name names or anything. There was a woman coming off of her shift. She got out of her car, and as she was getting out, this 13-year-old kid shoved a gun in her face and tried to carjack her. She did what anybody would do when you got a gun in your face, and she had a gun. She pulled hers out and shot the kid in the leg.
Yeah.
Kid was 13.
Yeah.
Right? What bothers me is 13-year-olds are carjacking in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Not
Although
the fact that he got shot,
I
because
can't
he
say-
should have got shot, little
yeah.
bastard.
I can't say I'm shocked. Lucky him, he got shot in the leg and not in the chest.
And not in
or
the
in
chest or arteries.
Hopefully it'll be a learning experience for him.
You'd like to think so.
So did this guy work at Walmart?
No, she just worked the night shift somewhere.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, that just goes back to like
I think it was on the north side, actually.
That just goes
Again.
back to like parents not being there and having
That little bastard, though.
that whole home base set up.
Yeah.
Because your kids aren't going to go fucking try to hijack somebody when they're 13.
You'd like to think they would.
No, they're not, because the way you raise them. There's a father, there's a mother, there's a stable family. When you have stable families, usually that means stable people.
Sure, stable kids.
I'm not saying all broken homes, they wind up like criminals or something
No,
like that.
right.
but
it's more
the
likely.
the probability of a child growing up in a stable atmosphere, they're probably going to wind up a very sustainable person in society.
Yeah.
Unless they have some kind of like mental illness or whatever.
God, you'd like to hope so.
That's like the nightmare scenario for me is like, I imagine like, what would happen if I died? What would happen if my wife died? Like, where would my kids go?
Right.
Now, my kids are lucky. I'm sure that their grandparents would help, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they'll be okay. But, man, isn't that like the nightmare scenario? Like,
I do have audio, though, on that shooting from the 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Oh, play that.
Suspect recovering this morning after police say he was shot by a woman he was trying to rob. She was walking from her car to her home on Natural Bridge Monday night. A man and the teen approached her. Investigators say the boy pulled a gun and demanded money and her car keys. The man then tried to steal the car. The teen became distracted. That's when officers say the
Fucking
victim
teens and
pulled
their
out a
phones.
gun and shot the 13-year-old in the leg. The man and boy took off, but police were later able to arrest the boy.
So there was a man. So there was a guy there with the
Got a
13-year-old.
Oh, there was somebody with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it might have been
But
like
the
his
kid-
dad or
But
something.
the dude, the 13-year-old, was the one using the gun.
Hmm.
The other guy just, give me your keys. She gave him the keys.
So the grown-ups
tossed the grown-up the keys. Grown-up was going to drive away. Because the kid can't drive properly, right?
Yeah, that's true. He's 13.
He's 13.
I
He
mean,
can use a gun, but
he's
he
lucky,
can't drive.
He's lucky he has like a BMX in the garage.
Yeah.
He's
Not
got a-
anymore. He's in big trouble now.
No, he's going to he's going to juvie now, man.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, mom's grounding him.
Enjoy juvie, you little son of a bitch.
God, I hope. Hopefully, we're not reading a story like
Of
this
a
about
future- of
about
a
one of our
future?
kids
Yeah.
doing some stupid shit like this.
But you know what? I mean, our kids would do something stupid, but I don't think it would be on this level. I'd like to think it wouldn't.
I don't think so.
I'd like to think that at least deep down we gave them just a little bit, more modesty and a little bit more respect for themselves to not do stupid shit like that.
And hopefully empathy too. Empathy for other people. That's an important one.
I think that's a lot of what the world.
That's a big one for me,
The
too.
world, at least this country, the world has lost.
Empathy?
Is empathy for other people.
We don't
'Cause I
give
see
a
a lot.
shit.
I see a lot of coldness.
Yeah.
In the way people treat each other now.
It's all about selfies and getting your face out there now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the internet has amplified
Here,
so
here
much of
are
that.
fine examples. When some woman in Philadelphia is on a train and she's getting raped,
Oh, yeah.
and people stand around
And everybody was right
videotape
there.
what's happening instead of trying to help her, pull the motherfucker off,
right,
and fucking help her,
Yeah,
man.
man.
What
I
is
didn't-
wrong with you people out there?
I didn't hear about this. Was this recently?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
damn.
Put the goddamn phone down
What was
and go
the,
help.
What was the story? Can you help us out on that one?
I don't know the whole story.
I just remember that there was it was like the nighttime train or something. It couldn't have been. It wasn't like in the middle of the day.
You said this was in Boston?
Philly.
It was
Oh,
in
in Philly.
Philadelphia.
Okay.
But there was a girl on the train, and a couple dudes were like sexually assaulting the shit out of her. And instead of helping, people just pulled their phones out and recorded it.
Like, what's your recording going to do? It's not going to help
man.
anybody.
Okay, yeah, I see.
I mean,
it
it's going to
now.
prove that you're a dick.
Well, if
You didn't do anything to help.
it's proof that if the guy gets caught, but
right.
you have to take action in the moment.
I mean, surely there were more of them than there was
Than the dude?
Than the one
Well,
dude.
then you know what? You gotta fucking,
But
take
like
some-
the whole time, she's just, if
Take some chances.
She's just yelling help, basically, and no one's helping.
God dang, man.
And that's the world we live in right now.
That's the world.
We live in a pretty weird fucking
We do live in a weird time right now.
weird
I
time,
feel.
man.
A very strange, uncertain time. Like we don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
It's just strange.
Hmm.
It's not the world we were raised for, boys.
No, we were raised for the 90s.
We were raised for the 90s world,
I'm reading up on this. Apparently, the police lied about that case. At least some of the things that they said. So, here's a quote. There is a narrative out there that people sat there on the L train and watched this transpire and took videos of it for their own gratification. That is simply not true. It did not happen. We have security video from SEPTA that shows that is not the true narrative.
Good.
So apparently there's,
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
hopefully there's,
good.
But there's other
But
situations where and you see it all the time on TikTok or some kind of social media video.
Yeah.
Where like there's a fight. And it's a bigger
the
kid.
fucking worst.
It's a bigger kid than another kid, and everyone's just standing around videotaping it instead of trying to break it up.
Right.
Like if there's some bullying going on, there's someone always videotaping it instead of trying to help.
I don't even. That's
Like,
not me, man. I
what
don't
the
even.
fuck are what the?
Is
I
that
think
your first instinct?
it's
to
just-
pull your phone out
No,
and start recording.
mine's to get involved and start breaking shit up.
Right.
I don't even like it when people pull out their phone like at concerts. Like, why?
Now that I get.
Right.
You know, I get that. You want to record the moment. But when you get home, it's like.
Or like, okay,
you know,
here's
you
That's
can't
like
understand a
video.
word of
That's
it.
like recording like fireworks.
That's just what I was gonna say. Yes.
But you know what? Every
Why?
year my wife still does
Why
it
even
though.
do it?
Why do it?
Sorry, Andrew, but why?
Yeah.
even do it?
Every year. I don't know. Why not? Why not? It's fun.
I know
you
it's fun. I know
we
it's-
never do anything
Hey,
with
look,
it.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
you never will.
Right.
And all the times that I'm guilty for even recording fireworks.
But
like I've never went back and watched.
Yeah,
Yeah, me neither. Oh,
watched
I'm
it.
sure. I just for the record, I'm sure I'm guilty of videotaping fireworks too. But yeah, I mean, I think some of us have lost or all of us to a certain degree have started to lose the ability to kind of live in the moment and just appreciate the moment for what it is.
Well,
And
we kind of alluded to it earlier, where we feel like everyone's lost empathy. I feel like everyone's lost focus on what it means to be American. Like, this is the country where you can do whatever you want. You want to rock your pants down around your fucking ankles, man. I mean, you can't go into some stores, but that's your right to do that. We shouldn't be passing laws and things saying you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know,
But
that
you know-
should be reserved for other
But you know
things.
why that's happening, Scott?
Why?
Because there's a lot of fucking Karens and a lot of Kens out there.
Exactly.
And a lot of disease on social media, especially Twitter.
But it was there before Twitter, and it was there. I feel like Twitter just amplified
No,
it.
well, it just basically like fuels the fire. Now.
Right. It gave it a voice.
And it's all for like people don't read the full story now. They just want to read one line and then go on that.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time.
You're right. Nobody listens to respond to you now. They just listen for like cues. Like, oh yeah.
And it's this
yeah.
fucking stupid ass cancel culture that we live in right now.
Yeah, I feel like
Fuck this.
The companies and people in general spend too much time worrying about what people on Twitter say.
Don't worry about what somebody
Hey.
said 15, 20 years ago either.
Props to fucking State Farm though, because they didn't cancel their deal with fucking
Aaron Rodgers.
So
Oh yeah.
credit to State Farm for not fucking canceling Aaron.
They said there was some health company that he worked that he
Oh, it was like
sponsored
an
that
Aetna or
dropped
something,
him.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's his body. Let him do what the fuck he wants.
Yeah, I don't care what he does, man.
You know what I mean? We got to get over this. Stop judging other people. Like, it's so weird, man. First, it was this pandemic. Now it's all about splitting everyone into two, splitting vaccinated and unvaccinated people apart. Like we're separating our society by this, dude, and it's wrong.
Yeah.
We're letting stupid stuff divide us.
It's wrong.
Right.
It's fucking wrong. We're all human beings.
And that's where the empathy gets lost, and that's where the rise, unfortunately, in fascism comes. I feel like we're headed for another cycle.
I'm afraid. That's
You
what
know?
I'm afraid
Fuck
of.
fascism.
Yeah.
So we'll
and
let's take
that
a
all
break
comes
real
from
quick
it.
because I'm getting fired up over here.
Let's do that, but before we do that, big thanks to our Patreon patrons, Mr. Sir Biscuit Strength. Dude came out
Taylor.
and been everything.
Hold on, I'm gonna go get the
All right.
the thing.
JT from the Paranormal Sun, all the way from Auckland, New Zealand.
That's right. And the JC Paranormal Society.
And we loved having Will on last week. Will, you are welcome back anytime, my brother.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I'm going to come back and guest. I was like, yeah, man,
Yeah.
come on.
I mean, if you just want to come back, if the other guys are doing something and they can't make it, then there you go,
Yeah,
Dave.
there you go, Dave. Look at that.
Oh,
Yeah.
catch that beat, catch that beat.
There you go.
Oh, and by the way, it's officially a season, and we'll talk about that coming up in the cool down.
Yeah, we're going to have to definitely cool
Two
it
segments.
down for that one.
I just got a group text from my boys, and they just reminded me of what season it is.
Yeah.
We'll be back on the old 77.
Right after this, bitches.
So fucking Eric. Hey guys, it's Matt, and we always talk about Last Flight Brewing Company, and we never exaggerate on how good it is there. They have this wonderful indoor space where you can fit a bunch of your friends or your family. You can take your dog in there. Also, kids are welcomed. We can all drink as equals. It's a great spot. If you want to sit outside, there's tons of space. It's a great spot for a sunny afternoon with friends, families, even colleagues. You can do it all out there. Games, cornhole, whatever your vice is. They also have a carefully crafted beer menu which changes all the time. Each beer they put out is delicious. Also, Last Flight won first place at the Missouri Beer Festival. They've come a long way in a short time, so check them out. You can find them on Facebook and online at lastflightbrewing.com. If you're local, check out Last Flight Brewing Company today. Go enjoy some sunshine. Get off your couch. Go. Go right now. Fill up your growler.
Get it.
Let me dance up on this table here.
Welcome back to the old 77.
It's a safe place.
In an unsafe world. What's up, y'all?
Oh, man. Nothing.
Segment 2.
Nothing. We're back.
Back for Seggy 2.
Back for some more excitement. I got some exciting articles pulled up here that we can talk about.
So first things first, let's talk about this dude up in Spokane, Washington.
Oh, yeah. That
Spokane.
guy. Is it Spokane or Spokane?
I think it's Spokane.
Okay.
Spokane. I know we have some listeners in Oregon. Or is it Washington?
That's
Sorry,
Washington.
Washington,
Sorry,
yeah.
my bad.
It's okay.
My geography.
Well, we had some.
My geography kind of gets off out there.
I was in the geography bee at school. I was also in the spelling bee. Guess what word I misspelled?
Please say it's like geography.
It was geography. That's exactly right.
So this father is accused of killing his daughter's alleged, killing her boyfriend because he sold his daughter into sex trafficking.
So his daughter's
Okay,
boyfriend.
so the story is this dude's dad,
Yeah.
his daughter was dating this cat that he's alleged to have done whatever to,
Uh-huh.
sold her into sex trafficking. So dad took care of it.
So check this out real quick. Here's an audio piece.
John Eisenman facing a judge today. He's a Spokane dad accused of murdering a man he says sold his daughter for sex and stuffing that body in a car's trunk. Spokane police say the murder actually happened a year ago.
But the body wasn't found until last week. That's when someone looked inside an abandoned vehicle. That body has been identified as 19-year-old Andrew Sorensen.
Well, look at this. Look at the picture of this piece of shit.
Well, let me see. Oh, wow.
Rocking bandana on top of the head.
Motherfucker looks like a Kid Rock wannabe.
Never trust a
Hey.
man with a bandana,
Right?
unless he's Willie Nelson.
So apparently, sex trafficking pays for. I mean, it pays
yeah, it pays.
when you deliver
As long as you're not the girl.
precious cargo.
Stock, whatever they call it.
Here's more.
The Washington State Patrol put out this picture last November saying he had been reported missing. Caitlin Knapp is here tonight with
That's a shame.
what the accused killer admitted about why he did it.
According to charging documents, John Eisenman told police Sorensen sold Eisenman's daughter into a prostitution ring. And after driving to Seattle to rescue her, he went over to confront Sorensen himself. In court today, Eisenman didn't say much. This was just a first appearance, and he wasn't asked to enter a plea. But in an interview with Spokane police, he waived his rights and told them what happened.
Hell
He
yeah.
said last fall, he found out Sorensen was going to be at a trailer park in Airway Heights. Eisman told police he confronted Sorensen, zip-tied his hands and feet, and shoved him into a trunk of a Honda Accord. Eisman then told police he punched Sorensen a few times and hit him in the head with a cinder block, knocking him out. Finally,
That dude suffered. He didn't die right away.
Keep going.
Eisman told police he stabbed Sorensen multiple times in the stomach. Eisman told police he abandoned the car with Sorensen inside in a remote part of Spokane County. Someone moved it last month to North Spokane, right next to Rochester Hills Park. A couple guys opened up the car and found the body inside. In addition to his own confession, court documents say Eisman's neighbor called Crime Check late last month and told them Eisman said he killed someone and hid the body in a trunk. Eisman said it was because the victim had sold his daughter for sex. Eisman has no criminal history. He's now facing a first-degree murder charge. A judge set his bail today at $1 million.
If he does go to prison, he's going to be all right.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
Yeah.
Because of why he's in there. I'll say that.
I mean, those guys, that's respect, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna walk in here like a king.
I don't know about that. But
And
he'll walk in
he won't
there.
go there. He won't be in there forever though.
No, probably not, because I'm sure
he'll-
he'll get some sympathy, especially if the judge
Well,
and
he'll
or
get
jury
right.
have kids.
But at the same
especially
time, though,
daughters.
how is he
Especially
going to have
daughters.
to like? He's going to have to show to get parole that he regrets doing that,
He's gonna be like, nope,
right?
killed that motherfucker.
Right? He
That's
may
true.
not get any early release.
Honestly,
good behavior.
My
Yeah.
feelings towards it is. Bravo, sir. Bravo.
I mean, assuming that
man.
assuming that the facts presented are accurate.
Right.
Yeah, man, I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for the guy
Nah.
either.
So my motherfucking daughter into.
What I want to know is how does a 19-year-old know how
Hell
to
no.
sell your daughter into prostitution?
Right, right.
You know,
It's all about the network, man.
I guess that's the real fucked up part.
It's all about the connections.
$1
man.
million bailed out. Someone's gonna pay up.
But he only needs to come up with what 10% of that.
Is that right?
Yeah, you only need 10%.
I don't know, man.
I think it's 10%.
Is that the land of the? Is that the law of the land?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
I know bail bondsmen make a killing though.
Right.
Oh hell yeah.
Well, God, yeah, because they come up with the 10%.
I mean, the whole job is just handling money. Like it's an easy as fuck job. I mean, I guess maybe not because you do have to. Like if you're
Well,
in the case of dog, you have to go hunt people.
The whole bail bondsman thing, though, that's being phased out, though, state by state.
Yeah, because
isn't
it is a shitty system.
Because it's kind of one-sided.
Yeah, it is a shitty system.
If you're poor, it doesn't really do you well.
Yeah, I remember John Oliver did a big piece about the bail,
Right.
the bail bond
The
system.
bail bondsman.
and it is a little shady.
Well, there's so many songs wrote about, that bail bondsman wanted that boat so bad. You don't need no ID.
Yeah,
right.
Hell no.
Hell no.
It's the American way, man.
Right.
And let's follow up on, Alec Baldwin
On
and
our
what
old friend
happened
Alec.
there. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. We've been really busy with the podcast, so
Talking
we haven't.
about that Rush shooting, right?
Yeah, we haven't had
Yes.
a chance to really follow up with this.
Yeah.
We've been so busy with other stuff on this podcast. So apparently Baldwin was in Vermont with his family, and he voluntarily pulled his car over. His wife wasn't very happy about this.
Oh, I'm sure she was
And
ecstatic.
He talked
Yeah, she
to some reporters or whoever it is, and here is the audio from that.
She was my friend.
She was my friend.
She was my friend.
Alec Baldwin on camera for the first time since the deadly movie set shooting in New Mexico.
I'm not allowed to make any comments because it's an ongoing investigation. I've been ordered by the sheriff's
We
department
knew that. We knew that.
in Santa Fe. I can't answer any questions about the investigation. I can't.
In an
you know
impromptu
they're gonna
interview,
ask.
the 63-year-old beside his wife Hilaria telling photographers the Ross production
Hilaria?
will not continue, calling the
His wife's like 25 years younger than he is.
Yeah.
And her name is Hilaria.
Yeah.
It rhymes with malaria.
I was gonna say, didn't you catch that back in Nam?
It's ridiculous.
But
Got sent home.
here's more of the interview.
tragic death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins, one in a trillion.
There are incidental accidents on film sets from time to time, but nothing like this. This is a 1 in a trillion episode. It's a 1 in a trillion film.
The actor-producer sharing his concern for Hutchins' family, saying he's talked repeatedly with her husband.
He is in shock. He has a 9-year-old son.
Yeah.
We are, in constant contact with him because we're very worried about his family and his kid. And as I said, we're eagerly awaiting for the sheriff's department to tell us what their investigation has yielded.
The encounter.
I mean, he looks pretty broken up about it.
Yeah, I don't think he's happy about it.
I think well,
I think,
yeah.
and then
really.
And look, I mean, like, whether you like him or not, there's more to blame than just him here.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
He
others
is to
who
blame, though. I will say that he is to blame.
He is to blame. I'm not. Don't get me twisted, but there are other people that should be blamed as well.
I agree.
Like the prop person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that damn
on
bullet
set.
shouldn't even have been in that
Like,
gun.
check the fucking round,
Right.
bro. Like,
You handed that actor, even though he's the one that fired the gun, he should have checked it too. He should have done protocol as well.
Yeah. And
But even though you handed that dude, you told him it was clean. Gun's cold. It's all good.
So apparently the paparazzis were fucking with the Baldwins in New York City.
They were following him
recently,
hard, right?
and one of the paparazzi said, "How do you feel about killing somebody by accident? How do you feel about that? How are you feeling?" And then his wife says, "Don't say, don't say."
Right. That sounds like a Papo type.
I mean,
yeah,
that's
here's
anything
more of,
to elicit a reaction.
Here's a little more of what you're
Yeah.
saying.
It's just on the side of the road.
Right.
Yeah.
We are, in constant contact with him because we're very worried about his family and his kid. And as I said, we're eagerly awaiting for the sheriff's department to tell us what their investigation has yielded.
The encounter.
That photo, though, that circled around right afterwards, where he was on the phone, you could tell in that photo, I fucked him up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you could see it in his eyes.
He just wasn't right.
Very, very, well-oiled crew shooting a film together, and then this horrible event happened.
A character's.
So there's an article I'm looking at right now that the DA investigating the shooting says that he knows who loaded the gun that killed.
Oh, really?
That killed her, yeah.
But is there anything they can do about it? I mean, can they prove it?
Yeah, that's
At the end of the day, do you guys think this movie will get put out? You think it'll get made?
I don't think so.
Right now it's on like.
Well, it's going to be on
hiatus for now, yeah.
Right. But at the same time, if you don't make this movie, it's kind of insulting to their legacy,
To their memory,
right?
yeah.
To their
Yeah.
memory.
We have to realize that when it does go wrong, and it's this horrible, catastrophic thing, some new measures have to take place. Rubber guns, plastic guns, no real armaments on set. And that's not for me to decide. It's urgent. It's urgent that you understand I'm not an expert in this field. So whatever other people decide is the best way to go in terms of protecting people's safety on film sets, I'm all in favor of, and I will cooperate with that in any way that I can.
You know, I was always under the assumption that they didn't have live rounds or anything in the guns anymore. Like when you see them on TV, I always thought that was Foley.
Yeah.
You know? They're just boom, boom, bang, bang, bang. And then, in
Nothing
post, they'll go back and put the sound effects in.
Yeah.
I mean, especially now when you have like CGI and stuff like that.
You do not need real
And
guns.
it's so easy to do now. I mean, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
What's really messed up, though, I mean, and it's not messed up, but like before the shooting of that day, they're on location on that property. They were shooting off rounds.
In these weapons.
Also, they found 500 rounds in the building.
I saw that.
So, someone was using that gun earlier that day. I feel like, I'm not a conspiracist, but I'm telling you, man, like maybe someone like, I'm not trying to put that out there.
500 rounds found out there, though that does sound like somebody's being like set up.
Yeah,
right?
like let's make Alec Baldwin look really bad.
Yeah, but it's not like they found 500 rounds in Alec Baldwin's trailer.
I think the most likely scenario, knowing that they were shooting rounds earlier in the day, is that, they were supposed to unload the rounds and they didn't.
And they
somebody just fucked up.
Yeah, or maybe that was that gun in particular made it to the scene.
I read a story that gun was like the gal who died. It was her shooting gun. Like that's the one
really?
that she shot.
Get out. So she died by her own gun.
Somebody shot her with it.
Damn. Oh, Alec Baldwin. Yeah.
But that makes me wonder, like, how did that all go down? Was he playing around, horsing around, oh, sure, boom, boom, and then it actually happened, or?
So I read something to where, like, a person who was there told this news media outlet, like, what exactly happened.
Yeah.
And the director, when he was shot, he said, "Oh, my God, I feel something burning." And apparently, I mean, when you get shot, it burns.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And he got shot where? In
I think it was like the abdomen or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's
the shoulder or something.
He lived.
Yes,
he lived.
She died.
So she got hit like in center mass.
Right. Oh, Jesus.
And so when she went down and they were surrounding her, she was like, "Well, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
This is the final words that she said."
Damn.
Because she died like 3 hours later.
Oh, shit.
So she didn't die like immediately.
Ah, that's crazy, man.
But I read this. I forget where I read it.
That wasn't.
It was one of those like articles I was reading when I first woke up. And I was like, "Oh, this looks interesting." And then I was like, "I'm going to save this for the podcast." I never did. And then like 3 weeks later, we had so much shit happening on the podcast. I just forgot to save it to my little list.
I've heard that when you get shot, it doesn't really hurt.
You're kind of in shock, I would assume, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't want to ever find out. I mean, I don't.
Me neither.
Yeah, I don't want to find out either.
I've been told by people who have been shot that it doesn't hurt. That it's
stinging.
It's more of like you don't even realize that it's happened at first, and then you look and you see blood, and then so.
It's like a shock thing.
You start freaking out.
Yeah.
You only feel it afterwards when the shock starts wearing off.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Shaka smart.
Shaka.
Your body has ways of dealing with trauma like that to make it as, easy to make it through as possible. Human body's an amazing thing.
It really is. I mean, and that's what's so cool about the Wolverine story. I'm not trying to get into comics, but his body is like it just heals like at a super elite speed.
That's right.
That's his superpower.
Yeah.
Is
It's
he
like-
just heals fast.
Right. He has like this amazing healing system and an amazing immune system too.
That's- yeah, it's all tied together. That's
like,
it.
If Wolverine, if Logan was a real human being, I'm sure he would be like, I'm immune to fucking COVID or any other kind of infectious disease.
In the comic books, they actually had plagues that ended the world only because Wolverine had died before that.
Oh, really?
Somehow he had died.
Interesting.
And so they kept him alive long enough to heal from this whatever plague, and that's how they cured the future.
Okay.
Now, is there a limit to this? Like, if he loses an entire limb, does that come back too?
Yeah, he can regrow anything.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But that's crazy that like how our bodies are like, they're like there's so many different organisms in our body, and different spots where like it helps rejuvenate and heal the body.
Well, it'd be interesting if we could like regrow
It's cool,
a
right?
limb like
Fuck
that.
yeah, it is.
You know?
What'd you say, Scotty?
It'd be cool to be able to regrow a limb like that.
No shit.
Somebody lost their arm or something, you could just, poop.
I think
pop out
one day
another
we'll
one.
be able to do that.
I think we will too.
Stem cells. You guys remember that?
Like you'll be like just hanging out and you have this like little baby arm growing out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
hey, nice arm. Yeah, no, like 3 years old arm.
You guys remember seeing that picture of that white mouse that had a human ear
Oh,
growing
yeah, they
out
would
of the
grow
side
ears
of it?
on the back of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I'm telling you, those types of things are coming.
I think it's going to be something even more advanced than that. I think they're going to 3D print it.
Yeah, that's.
You're going to have a 3D printer that will just print you a new heart or whatever.
Anything.
You know?
Yeah, man.
Because you'll have stem cells, you'll have DNA. They could, if you had a programmable DNA, like I was talking before with the DNA bomb.
Yeah.
If you had something like that and you plugged like your DNA to it, you could regrow anything from you.
Man.
It's interesting shit, man.
It is, and that's not too far off.
You want to know what else isn't too far off?
What's that, buddy?
Arby's.
Arby's.
Arby's is selling curly fry flavored vodka for the holidays. Can't wait to get my hands on that. boys.
Wonder if it has little floating chunks of burnt grease in
Okay,
it.
so vodka? Like, are they cooking the fries in vodka?
I don't know.
It's got to be
man.
the flavor. It's got to be like KFC, man.
So the potatoes are probably in.
I will say this.
So it's got to be the potatoes are infused in the vodka
with
and then
seasoning maybe.
Well,
Maybe.
you can't season something that's already what. I mean, you can, but it's more of a marination.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing.
So before the fries are even like cooked, they have to be infused into this vodka, and then
Maybe
then they
that's what it
take
is.
they take those sliced French fries which have been infused, and then throw them in the fryer.
They also have the waffle fry version as well.
Or any
Yeah,
so
but wouldn't that taste throw off? Like, wouldn't it burn off the alcohol by frying it?
I think so. It burns off the alcohol that will get you drunk, but it still leaves a flavor.
You know what I'm thinking they're doing?
But vodka doesn't really have a flavor to it.
I'm thinking they're
I know.
frying up a bunch of these, and they're drying them off, and they're throwing them in the vat, and they're aging the vodka in them.
Maybe that's what it is.
And the flavor of that is infusing in the vodka.
Yeah. When's that start for Arby's, Dave? Because we have one in town.
Oh God.
I'm gonna go try
Can
it.
you buy that at Arby's, or do you have to go to a specialty store?
You guys are asking me all these questions.
Arby's, we got the meats.
It's available on the 18th.
I never have Arby's. Is that any good?
It's all right.
You've never had Arby's
You've
in your
never
life?
had
Never had
Arby's?
Arby's in my life.
Well, I was just about to say, I like Arby's every now and again. My favorite thing about Arby's, and I think a lot of people agree with me, is the curly fries.
Okay.
The curly fries are the bomb.
What's the best thing at Arby's? What's the best sandwich there, though?
I don't know.
I like their Greek stuff. Their gyros are good.
The gyros, I love
their
gyros,
are
yeah.
good.
Yeah, I've never gone that route, man.
See, I would go to I
roast
love
beef's all right.
That's
roast
what I
beef,
do.
yeah.
I always get roast beef when
Roast
I go to
beef's
Arby's.
all right.
Yeah, that's what
See,
I
dude, I do a killer roast beef in my house when I like. So I'll slow cook roast beef.
Oh, yeah?
I'll go buy like 2 pounds of like just cold sliced roast beef
Cold
from the
beef.
deli, and then I'll get like 10 cans of brown gravy, garlic. Also, I'll throw some seasoning like salt and pepper in it, and I'll let it sit for about an hour and a half. And then you get those rolls. You get the nice fucking hoagie rolls.
That's
and then you throw some provolone on it.
It's all about the bread. Roll.
It's all about the bread,
you
bro.
get the provolone and you get the roast beef, man. Oh. And then you just sit there and you fucking be a fat ass about it.
Ooh, I want my roast beef look like it's been.
Dude, so we have. I get that I had that for the football draft this year at my house. All the guy, like even Jason and Angel were like, for one, Jason is not only a mean, like, strong motherfucker, but dude, he can fucking grill his ass off. He can, dude, he makes the best jambalaya that I've ever had.
Jambalaya.
So this guy can cook. So when he was complimenting me on like this simple recipe for roast beef, and this is an old Philly thing.
Yeah.
This is what my dad did, my mom did. Like we had a bunch of people over.
Generations
They go
of
buy
Francis
like
has made
buy
this.
meatballs and roast beef and just stick them in the slow cooker.
Hey, you fucking meatball.
And then you just have a giant. You have like fucking 3 bags of rolls, man.
Yeah.
And you just feed an army. And he was like, "What'd you do so special about this?" I'm like, nothing. This is what you do.
Sometimes simplicity is
It's the roast beef and the bread.
With my dick.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about horseradish?
I love horseradish. Actually, you know what? I think about it now.
Creamy or raw though?
Oh.
I don't know what the fucking difference is.
Really?
Yeah, really, I don't.
So you get the. So you ever had like prime rib?
Yeah.
And you get that like really
yeah,
creamy
yeah.
horseradish that you can dip it in, or you can get like the raw where it's like you go get
thicker?
sushi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually like plant. You can pick it up, put it on there, and eat it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just get the shit in the bottle at the grocery store that says horseradish on it. I like it.
Horseradish is delicious, but that reminds me, dude.
Good.
You put horseradish on that roast beef sandwich.
That's why I was thinking of horseradish, because that was the only ingredient I was thinking. Oh man, put some horseradish on that. That would be good. You get some
horseradish mustard.
Mm.
That's where it's
at. Yeah,
at.
I've had that. That's good.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, you get a little bit of that horseradish and it cleans your nose out. You know what I mean? You ever get a little bit in your nose?
What I like is
Did with wasabi once.
I like getting a French dip sandwich and then getting an au jus.
You can get that at Arby's.
And you dip that shit.
Yeah, you can get the au jus.
That is fucking delicious.
My wife loves that stuff, man. Yeah.
You know, someo's listening right now. They're like going to lunch. They're like, "Fucking guys are making me so hungry."
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, Angel. Roger's like, "Fuck you."
Right.
I have a half a Subway sandwich sitting in my van right now, just waiting for
From the other day or
from today.
From today?
Disgusting.
I figured no.
You're big on the
it's
Subway.
You are, Dave. Dave, you really you are a catfish of sandwiches. You know that?
You think that? You think, buddy?
Bottom feeding motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because he enjoys Subway.
Well, I figure it's
honestly, my dad loves Subway.
It's no Jersey Mike's,
he lives
man.
right outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He can go to.
He's got access to the good shit.
Dude,
He
there's
goes
this
to
place
Subway.
called Lou's right out it's like 10 minutes away from my parents. It's right
Mhm.
outside Philly. And I'm telling you, man, so you can get like a hoagie, like a ham and cheese hoagie for like
hoagie.
$3, and it's fucking like a foot long. And it's the greatest fucking sandwich my dad rather go to Subway than go to this place. I'm like,
really?
He just likes going there. He's like, it's fresh. I'm like, it's not fucking fresh, Dad. It's not fresh.
He's
like there's been
believing the hype.
There's been Christmases where I give him like a
Subway gift card?
$50 gift card. He can eat there for the next 2 months.
I love it, man. I love it.
He's like, thanks, son. I love you.
I'm not like huge on
right,
Subway.
Dad.
That's the only time he tells you.
You
he
North
loves
Catholic
you.
faggot.
I love you. I love you, son.
I love you so much for this Subway gift certificate.
So much that I will call you a faggot once again in your
Right,
life.
you son of a bitch.
And if you never listened to this show before, my dad has called me a faggot throughout my life. So.
Yeah. Oh, it's a thing. It's a term of endearment for his dad.
It's nothing new, man.
Yeah.
That was a word that was thrown around a lot when we were kids.
I was 27 years old, and I found out that my dad was at a family party, and people were asking, "Hey, is Matt married yet? Does he have a steady girlfriend?" He's like, "No, I think he's a faggot."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Thanks, Dad." I wasn't even there to defend myself.
That's why he did it.
Dad, I appreciate you if you're listening to this. I know it's tough love. It's like Freddie Got Fingered. Did you ever watch that movie? I'm like Freddie, and he's like Rip Torn.
But it turned out all right. It turned out okay for him. You were not, in fact.
No, I love
You
my
were
dad.
not,
He's
in
the
fact,
best.
right?
Yeah.
You gave him a grandbaby.
We have a special relationship.
Yeah. Well, look, man. You could
My
have
wedding's just to prove that.
You could have had a dad that was not racist, but wasn't ever around when you were a kid.
See,
which
I-
is my
I-
situation. I think your situation was.
He
better.
did slow dance with me at my wedding. We were doing a dollar dance, and he comes up to me. He's like, here's like $10 for the dollar dance. And I'm like,
Nice.
all right.
Thanks, Dad.
I mean, it was, he just like,
Took
he
you for
thought
a
it-
spin and then
he
threw
thought
it.
it was
What
funny.
was the
and he-
song?
I was like, and I asked him, I was like, should I tip you? And he's like, don't you even think about it. I was like,
That would have been fantastic.
Do you remember what the song was?
Oh, I forget, dude. So anyway, you know what dollar dances are.
Yeah.
So we did that. And it doesn't matter if you're male or female. You got to dance with people.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was one of the last people. And I was like, Dad, like, why don't you dance with us when, like, Queen's on? You know, like, we had a mosh pit going on at our wedding.
Oh,
and-
my God, yeah.
Get crazy.
And, like, like 2 months later, he was dancing at another wedding, cutting it up.
Cutting it up.
He
huh?
totally pissed me
He
off.
wouldn't dance at all at
It
yours.
was my cousin Rich's wedding, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, your dad was a dancing machine. I'm like, where the fuck was this at
Right.
here in Jeff City?
You got to get just the right amount of alcohol.
He
You
was
gotta,
so upset with you.
You
Come
got to
on,
hit that
Dad.
window, that dancing
Dad.
window. There's a window for dancing when you're at a
Fucking
wedding.
kid ain't mine.
Yeah.
Out there dancing.
Yeah. Well, at least we had him on the podcast, and I had that special experience with him. So
Yeah, that's right on, man.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you guys know that Bruce Lee was a champion dancer?
Was he?
We did, yeah.
I would believe
did know that.
He, I mean, look at him like
He was a
orchestrate.
cha-cha king, right?
I mean, look at him orchestrate his body, you know, with
Martial arts.
Martial arts.
Yeah.
I mean, like, why not? I mean, a lot of the NFL players that go on Dancing with the Stars, because of their footwork training in
not
football,
But
they
some of
are
the
pretty
older
good at
ones,
dancing.
They're not flexible.
Like Jerry
you know?
Rice and Emmett Smith both won that shit.
Yeah, that's right. I don't
watch the show, but
Yeah,
I
me
know they
neither.
won it.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't have time for that kind of shit.
My brother-in-law went to high school with Emmett Smith.
Did he really?
Really?
Pensacola?
Yeah.
That's where he went?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. My brother's from southern Alabama. He's from like a little town called Opp, Alabama.
He
but
might
I-
have played him or
But he
something.
but he lived in Pensacola
Okay.
too. So,
So
that
that's
must
where he
be
probably,
it.
yeah.
Man.
He didn't play with him but he played with his brothers. Said that they're really nice. He's a really nice dude. Really nice.
He
family.
looks like a really down to earth fella.
Yeah.
But he
I
played for
feel
the,
like that's what he wants you to think.
but he played for the Cowboys, so he is a piece of shit.
You know?
He's a badass, man. He was a badass.
You guys know how I feel with the Cowboys.
He's
Yeah.
a piece of shit.
Fuck you to all the Cowboy fans out there. This is the second episode in a row that I said that. Fuck you.
There's so many of them too, man. They're
Um,
spread out everywhere.
We're gonna talk about what season it is coming up next. I got a text message from a
That's right.
really good friend of mine.
I
and-
just sent Dave a text message too, and I want to get his opinion on that. We've got a glowing cigar shape spotted and recorded hovering in the air in France.
Oh, what?
It's pretty fucking rad looking.
All right, we'll talk about that next too. It is the cool down coming up next, and you know what happens in the cool down? Anything goes.
Anything,
It
yeah.
all goes left or right.
Oh
you
my
know.
God.
Shit goes
And
crazy.
we're not talking
sometimes.
politics.
No.
It just goes haywire.
No, it's kind of like that scene in Full Metal Jacket. $15 gets you anything.
Yeah, it just
Cool
kind of
down gets you anything.
anything. So
All right, we'll do that.
we'll be
Do
back.
that next.
Yeah, we'll be back, bitches.
In the Groove, Vinyl Records and More has the widest variety of new and used music, carrying new and reissued vinyl, used CDs and cassette tapes. In business for over 20 years, offering the best variety and service we possibly can. In the year 2000, we started out as a little hole in the wall, and now In the Groove is a full-service record shop with thousands of records to choose from. Buying rock, jazz, R&B, soul, and blues records, 33s, 45s, and 78s. We also buy CDs and cassette tapes. We've been buying and selling since 2000. In the Groove is a one-stop shop for records, stereo equipment, CDs, and other fun oddities. 708 Jefferson Street, Jefferson City, Missouri. Give us a thumbs up and follow us on Facebook. In the Groove, Vinyl Records and More.
It is time for cool down on Old 77.
Now you have to read all the words. It is time for the cool down on the 77, Old 77.
You want me to say the cool down, right?
Well, yes.
The 77.
Right. Well, the old
Okay,
77.
I try it again. It is time for the cool down on the Old 77.
Welcome back to the old 77.
It's a safe place.
In a very unsafe world.
World. Like
We
that
say-
beat? You
we
like that
say-
beat, Scott?
I do like that, man.
It's a nice one. I need to get some organ in my beats. That's like a Wurlitzer, I think. I think that's what
So, hey guys, it's November. It's what, November 11th?
No Nut November.
And
thank you.
well, no, well,
You know,
it's
I've
awesome.
already failed that miserably.
So
me
I
too,
just got
thankfully.
a text from a friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
It's one of my good friends. His name's Eric Mamer.
Friend of the show, Eric.
And he
Mayer.
sent this.
Eric Mamer, friend of the show.
We know Eric.
He sent this text message to the Hot Tub Boys. It's a group, and
I
it
feel
goes.
like you need to describe that.
It's
too.
a long story, boys. It's a long story.
We've heard it.
So he
Hot
sends a
Tub
picture of
Boys.
this. He's at a Holt Summits bar right now
That poor guy.
in Callaway
Which
County.
that-
So you can just imagine. what it's like.
That poor guy.
That alone is a feat because I've lived in Holt Summit my entire life, basically, and I think there might be one bar in Holt Summit.
Just one?
Somewhere like off the beaten path.
So
yeah.
anyway, like he
Anyway.
takes a picture of this framed poster.
Yes.
And this chick's bent over
Very
in a
nice
refrigerator.
looking,
She's
shapely woman.
Looks like she's grabbing a Bud Light. She has this thong on. And so underneath of it, and he is the originator of the saying.
I
It's
forgot
that time
about
of year again. He's like, I'm at a Holt Summits bar. And our friend Goody, who's friends of the show.
Friend of the show, Goody.
He says, well, I just saw this pic for the first time. And yes, the first frost is upon us.
Uh-huh.
He's talking about eating ass.
It's ass eating season.
That's what it is, man. That's the cutoff.
It's ridiculous, but it makes a lot of sense. If you eat ass, which
No, man, I feel like
it's
this
not
is,
a big thing for me. I get no enjoyment.
I feel like this is O'Doul's.
I
right?
never ate an asshole, so I'm gonna put that out there.
Neither have I.
But Eric is like the master at eating
Don't lie.
ass. So, and Goody is like, Goody is the perpetual bachelor. So
Yeah.
he,
Is he an ass
I'm sure
eater as well then?
There's nothing wrong with eating
I would
ass.
not put it by him.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't put it by Scott.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
I wouldn't put it by Scott either.
The ass is a place that doesn't. I like looking at the ass, and like, the ass is a very nice thing when you're, when
In
you're,
coitus?
when you're when. Anyway, I'm just
I
saying,
hate dudes that are like, oh, there's poop involved. Well, yeah, when you knock on somebody's house, don't be surprised when they're home.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
here's
come on.
Let me
how
give you
I
a
feel.
colonoscopy, girl.
Like, if I knew that there were a buffer between me and the poop, like, there needs to be a shower recent. If for
man.
me to
But
go
even if you-
entertain going down that
If
road,
it ain't
I
that-
need to know
Yeah.
that she's clean.
If it's not like horribly dirty afterwards, come on. Did you do anything?
Honestly, dude, like even if they even after a shower, if you, like
I'm gonna need
licking,
to see you scrubbing that ass with that loofah.
I have to witness.
Get
this
the
shit.
loofah on the stick.
Hold
you
on,
know?
let me take a video.
This is just this just happened 5 minutes
This
ago.
is just for record keeping purposes.
But honestly, like here,
Just
like
keeping that on file.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh man.
but even though it's clean and it's been scrubbed and it's all shiny and
And new.
there's no stink to it.
Yeah.
There is a lot of stink inside.
It's still a little suspect.
Well, yeah, man.
So I mean, there could be family members home still. They haven't been dropped off at the pool yet.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Mama's running late.
The kids are still there. Oh, the kids are they didn't go to pool yet? No, they're still there.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like,
Uh-huh.
I mean, as long as she's not diuretic, I feel like you're not in any danger of
Right.
of things just flying out of there
Unless
all
you're
willy-nilly.
really going down, you're going to town.
Yeah, really going to
yeah.
town.
Good God.
But yeah, I mean, it is the season.
It's the cool down, folks.
Tis the
Right.
season to eat asshole. Fa la 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 la.
Tis the season for me
Should
to
make a jingle.
He just made a jingle.
the ass
You
eating
hear
jet
like the
jingle.
orchestra go off.
I can play guitar,
There's like a-
man. If you can give me some lyrics about ass eating, we could do a song.
There's a
bro.
chorus.
go.
There's a choir in the background.
Oh my God.
Passing along those ass eating season. Come
That's
on
right.
now.
Take him to church.
Oh.
Take it to church.
I've got a churchy
God,
beat.
give me the
Oh,
strength.
we
to
can do
eat
that.
ass.
I got a churchy beat. I'll give you for that one.
Amazing grace.
my
How
God.
sweet that ass is.
Ooh. Because it's after frost.
It tastes like corn and some more.
Take it to church. There we go.
Take it to church and
that's-
wax that ass.
Is that a Dave Jordan original?
Yeah, man.
All right.
That's Dave. Well, so we won't get fucking hit
so
up for
nothing
this.
hit up on that one.
Thank
No,
God. The
man.
white Kanye is here, baby.
Oh, man.
I I won't sue you guys, man. Yeah.
Amazing
I just what it was I heard the clapping, and as soon as because there's a clapping section to that beat where the drums go away and everybody just starts clapping like you're at church, and so I don't know. I just thought it would be a good fit for an ass-eating song. What can I say?
that just sounds right. I can't believe we did a whole first couple minutes on total ass eating.
We got a few more minutes left in us, I'm sure, right?
Oh, we got another couple ass eating stories, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that text always like comes out to the group every like
you always get
November
one,
kind of
you
deal.
guys- Every
I mean,
year.
it's November 11th, so it's like we're basically we're entering mid-November now.
I think it's already frosted already.
Yeah, we've had a couple
Pulling
frosts
it
already.
down with the old 77.
That's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, it's the cool down.
We cool it down.
Shout out to Louie. Love you,
Yeah,
bro.
shout out to Louis Mano for that one.
That's my boy right there. If we could ever pay for his expenses to come out here and stay out here for like a weekend.
Oh man,
that would be
And have
cool.
him on the podcast and dude, we would have like one of our I told him he could be a comedian. He is so
for sure.
quick-witted and funny as hell. And I'm not just being biased because he's my friend.
Yeah, no, he
Dude,
is.
he is fucking hilarious.
Dude, just the voiceovers are brilliant.
There's
I was
20
listening to
people
behind
inside
the
his head.
voiceover stuff, though. Yeah.
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 We had a new thing come back, and he's like doing all kinds of different characters and shit.
Yeah, and this is not even a part of what we asked him to do.
Is it up on the Google Drive?
I believe so.
Yeah, it is.
Might have to go in there and take a peek. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I believe so.
So if we had aliens in this world, do you think they'd be in the eating ass?
Yeah.
Because we had a sighting down in Springfield, Missouri,
Oh, yeah,
pretty
the
close to
Springfield
us.
one.
It's about 3 hours away if you're not familiar with Missouri.
Yeah, about 3 hours
Yeah.
to our south.
It's a really nice drive down.
It's about
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's is that
I did
after
hit a deer.
Is that
going
after
way.
Branson or is that after Branson?
This is right before Branson.
Okay,
So
so it's
as
right
you're going,
before.
like if you were going from Jeff City to
Yeah.
Branson, it would be right before Branson.
Because every time we go down to Cedar,
Big Cedar.
Big
Oh, yeah.
Cedar Lodge, we pass by Springfield, then Branson, and then Big Cedar Lodge is the shit, dude. I love that place.
I think that me and the family
expensive,
are
but
gonna
it's
go
worth
there.
it.
I
Right.
think me and the family are going to
We're
go
going
there.
down in December for our 5-year anniversary. We're taking Sloan down there.
I know
Really?
you guys love that place.
Dude, when you go down there during Christmas time, and obviously our anniversary is December 10th.
Right.
They dress that place up like Santa's little village.
Oh, I bet.
You feel like you're in a Hallmark Christmas movie. I'm
Yeah,
serious,
it's
dude.
beautiful.
If you ever watch a Hallmark Christmas movie out there, and everything's it's all decorated
Yeah.
up and whatnot. This is how it is down
Yeah.
there. I'm like, this is so like perfect.
I want to go down there so bad, man.
There's this restaurant inside the resort though. They have the best fucking wings, dude.
Okay,
Best
that's
fucking
good to
wings.
know. That's good
I
to
forget
know.
what it's called.
Is so like when
I
you
love
Top
the
of the rock
wings,
to you, yeah,
right? I
fuck.
love the wings.
So
But
like,
it's a great place.
How much food do they have on site? Like, do they have a
Oh,
bunch
dude,
of
it's a
different
full
restaurants?
menu. So when we went down, the last time we went down there, we went down for our honeymoon, and we stayed there for I think 4 days.
Yeah.
And we could have went to anywhere. Like it was super expensive,
Oh, I bet.
but it's well worth it. Like we had
Yeah.
a suite, dude. We had a fucking jacuzzi, all that shit. It was it was amazing.
Yeah.
That's
And then
nice.
like at our deck, like they have this ice rink, like I don't know, 300 yards away from like our building.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see like in the middle of the ice rink, there's this like giant fucking pine tree decorated to the T, bro.
Yeah.
It looks like something out of a movie.
Yeah, like you're in. It's a Wonderful Life. or
Because
something.
the owner of this place he's one of the owners of Bass Pro Shops.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We had the most amazing time at the restaurant. Like they had live music there one night, and Sarah, she wasn't feeling right, but she went to the bar anyway. And I was talking to the bartender for hours because, like, I bartended when I was
Right.
young, and this guy was like middle aged, like he was probably a little older than us. But we were just talking, and I'm like, it's a great drink, this and that. We kept going back and forth. He kept loading me up with drinks. He gave me extra drinks. Like,
Yeah.
That's a good
I
bartender.
must have
gonna
paid for
say.
like maybe like 3 drinks because Sarah was drinking like Dr Pepper because her stomach was all fucked up. But like, I must have had like 9 or 10 drinks, and he only charged me for like 3 or 4.
Don't say his name. I don't want to
I
get
was
him
gonna say,
fired.
don't get him in
You're
trouble.
like sometimes I
But you
did
can
that
tell
as a
me off the
bartender
air.
because like as soon as you connect with someone, you're like, this guy's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I'm
man.
gonna give
Yeah.
him like the best fucking experience ever.
So you give that dude nice tips.
But we ordered like a
Yeah.
bunch of food. Like I had the wings. I had their meatloaf, which was done special. It was like crusty, like
Oh yeah.
delicious meatloaf and this like sauce.
I'm not a meatloaf guy.
I'm not a meatloaf
But it was no, but like I'm not a meatloaf guy
But the
either.
crusty,
but it
I
was
know what you're talking
Scott,
about.
you would have ate this shit.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Trust
just haven't had the right meatloaf.
Honestly,
Yeah.
you would have smoked up and been like, "This is fucking delicious."
Yeah, I
bro.
probably would have. I probably would have.
No, it was like one of the best meatloafs I ever had. And then they had these like onion rings. It was so good. Anyway,
Yeah.
totally off the topic, but
It's okay. We can talk about food.
Big Cedar. We're talking about aliens.
Oh yeah,
We're
aliens.
totally about like.
Oh yeah. Pull that.
We were
pull
talking about Springfield, and then I got off the track of, Big Cedar Lodge. I went down to Big Cedar Lodge for my honeymoon, man. Yeah. And I saw an alien, and he was dressed up like Santa Claus.
And he knew where all the ho.
I will probe you, motherfucker. I hate your face.
JP, how much do clothes cost in the Matrix?
Right? Yeah.
You can see me. Yeah.
Eat
you
my ass.
Fucking weirdo.
Yeah. So in
I just
Springfield,
showered.
I hate you.
this is the Sun that reported on this, which isn't the Sun a British tabloid? I believe.
No shit.
Is it credible?
Not.
It's ish.
Not the most, but there's other credible.
Is it
sites.
showing videos of Joe Biden dropping
nobody-
farts in front of the Duchess?
Not that I know of.
Nobody
Okay.
around here was talking about this.
I showed you the video earlier, Maddie, and Scotty, you've seen it. It's it looks just to be like a perfectly square, perfectly cubed
It looks
object.
And it's lighting up.
Yeah.
Going around in circles, and I couldn't
doing
I
its
couldn't
thing.
decipher from the video whether or not it was lighting up or if it was just reflection from the sun. But the guy, but you could hear the guy's voice on the video
Yeah.
saying that it was lights.
They're all very surprised. They're all very taken by the moment in this video.
Yeah, I'll have to check and see what other news outlets have reported it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
know.
thought it was interesting enough to send it to you. And then there was another one. The one I was talking about, it was in France.
Mhm.
Let me see if I can't pull this one up.
Vive la France.
Viva la... I mean, do they, like, spit at them, too? Go home to your planet.
Pa, 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 pa.
That's one thing we've never
Did you
talked
guys
about.
see the video of Kamala Harris? Like she was doing this like she was talking about like what was it, the climate whatever
Climate change?
climate
change.
conference
Yeah, the
over there
climate
in France.
conference. Okay, yeah.
Well, she was doing this she was doing her whole spiel in front of like all these French people, and she was doing this like French accent, which was super insulting.
She was?
Dude.
Oh, that's terrible.
Let me just try to find it on YouTube real quick. But dude, I'm and this is like all bipartisan right here. Like
Right.
When I see something that was like really bad, like we do impressions on here, which
all the time.
are very bad, and hers was like worse than ours.
Oof. And she was doing it to the people
The
themselves.
French people were like right in front of her, dude. Hold on a
Damn.
second, let me try to find it.
Yeah, I've seen her say some shit out of the blue.
She says some
that-
dumb shit.
Yeah, that where I'm like, damn, what are you thinking, girl? I've
Yeah.
also seen her, like I've seen her, like cross-examine
not
people.
right.
I've seen her cross-examine people, and she's sharp as a fucking tack when she does
Well,
stuff
you
like
take
that.
someone out, but you take somebody out of their element.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
because you're good at prosecuting people doesn't mean you're really good at like politics.
Yes, no.
Cross-examining is one thing.
Yeah, no, for sure, totally.
Politicking is another.
Oh, here we go. Let me just see real quick.
Sounds like
I just want a
maybe-
raw shot of it. I don't want no fucking Fox News or CNN on the shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to pull up on this
Come
one
on.
here.
Yeah, man.
I'm just going to try to find it real quick because it was crazy. I'm like, I can't believe she's doing this internationally. Like, you're doing international relations with France. I mean, it's the French. Like, I don't give a fuck about the French, dude, but
Yeah,
Right.
but
like,
they're our ally.
they're our ally. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like, they still owe us for World War II. You know what I mean? Like, we fucking bailed them out. Come on, where the fuck? What is this shit? Fucking
I don't know.
YouTube.
I don't know what you're doing.
It's freedom fries, by the way.
So I've got this. Multiple witnesses in France say a glowing cigar-shaped UFO. It was caught on film by multiple mystified witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
Southern France earlier this week.
That's right. That's the one you sent me.
Right. This thing is pretty wicked looking. So there's a picture of it that I sent you guys. If you follow that link at the bottom, there's a website that you can go to and you can see the video.
The Coast to Coast website,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you go to Coast to Coast. And it's basically a bunch of people like catching it. This thing took off on social media in France. It's pretty crazy looking. This thing's just hovering and glowing.
Here you go, Maddie.
Holy shit, dude.
Right? Not just one person saw this. Multiple.
Okay, so that's not a jet.
No, clearly not. It's clearly.
It's not an asteroid or
cigar-shaped.
anything.
No.
No,
What
if it was an asteroid, it would have burned out a long time ago.
I feel like we're seeing more and more and more of this stuff.
We
dude.
are seeing more and more.
And it's on purpose.
Is it?
I feel like it is. I mean, if they're that smart and way beyond us, they know that we have the technology what we have.
But how do we know that's not us?
I think that if we could go into the future, like
It looks like fucking like what's that character in Marvel?
Right, but we're in a really weird time right now.
Yeah, the
And
weirdest.
technology is advancing so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, they're now saying that cold fusion is within reach.
Yeah.
We never had that before. That was always science fiction when we were kids.
Mhm.
You know, I remember watching an episode of Star Trek where a civilization destroyed themselves trying to figure it out.
Right. Yeah, and then you wonder, like, I wonder, does that happen to every civilization?
Right.
They reach a certain level of
And
technological
then they take
advancement,
themselves out.
and then they
Absolutely.
end it. Like, that seems like a very plausible scenario
Yeah.
in my brain.
You get so advanced that you just can't handle that level of advancement.
Yeah.
Right.
Because even if you have a society that cooperates 99% of the time, if any average Joe could have the ability to take the entire species out, there's going to be somebody out of the 9 billion people on the planet somebody's going to want to do that. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's just a matter of.
For every one optimistic person, I feel like you have 4 or 5 just want to watch the world burn people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So that's the thing, man. That's what we have to hope never happens, is that
We get enough of them.
We don't get too many more of them, but I don't know, man. I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried about asteroids too. I sent you a link about that last week too.
I saw that. Yeah.
That was the one. Where was that one? Fuck, I can't even remember anymore.
What was that great big one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
The,
it was in Europe somewhere.
Yeah.
They found a bunch of that nuclear glass, and which they suspected was from some type of big explosion
Like
or
a huge
something.
impact or something.
like,
Yeah.
that's the only way that this occurs in nature, is when there's some sort of.
There's a place in the desert in the Middle East, and I can't remember where it is, that has just an absolute ton of nuclear glass and nuclear, like it's like a bomb went off there, and nothing grows there anymore. But we can't prove
Like,
how.
Yeah. I mean, look at Russia.
Right.
Yeah, there was the one in Russia just a few years back.
And Japan.
Well, you see so much of it now from Russia because
Chernobyl.
they all have their cams and stuff in their cars.
Yeah, it's the insurance. It's for insurance purposes. Plus, Russia's just a huge fucking place.
It's a big country, yeah.
So
I
there's
mean,
bound to be
it's
some
vast.
shit that happens there.
I mean, Siberia for one thing.
Right.
Seems like a really depressing place to have to live.
Well, dude, there's a thing like I dated a girl that was from Siberia, and she came here like when she was a young child, and then
Love the cold?
She grew up here going to school, but she moved here when she was like maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Which is old enough to remember it.
Yeah.
And so I, when I was dating her, we would talk about it, and then I Googled like average temperature in the winter time, and it was like fucking like February. It's like average temp is like -10.
Fuck that.
And she said when you go over there, you can't even take a shower every day because the pipes are fucking frozen.
Yeah, they all freeze.
So you can't even like run water and shit. You have to like boil it. And
What
stuff.
kind of shit is that?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Drive.
Like,
Yeah,
why would
get
you
in the car
even?
and drive
Why would
south.
you
No,
even
thank
deal with that shit? Because in the summertime, it's like fucking like amazing there.
I don't care how
Springtime, it's
amazing
amazing
it is.
there.
If there's no bugs, then maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Like
when
if there's
it's-
no bugs in the fucking summertime.
Yeah.
Right? I can go outside. I can be naked. I can roll around. There's no bugs crawling around. Nothing flying, biting.
Yeah, and I would imagine like in a place like that, which it's probably out of 12 months, it's probably like 6 months out of the year, it's
Shitty.
5 months out of the year, it's beautiful.
I feel like it's 9 months out of the year it's shitty.
Probably.
3 months out of the year it's beautiful, gorgeous.
and there's
heat.
no bugs whatsoever because that cold just kills
Yeah.
everything.
God, I'd hope so.
It's beautiful outside right now, all of the trees, and every time.
And there's no bugs.
Every year when this happens, I think, man, I wish it could stay this way for a few months.
So we were talking about the
Right.
the aliens over in France.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dude, you got to check this out real quick. It's our vice president.
Turn that
of
thing
the United
around.
States. Ready?
Turn that thing around so Scotty can see
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. There you go. All right.
This is her in front of all these like fucking French scientists.
To mimic French accent.
We campaign with the plan.
Hold on.
Oh, God.
With us in government, we campaign with the plan. Uppercase T, uppercase P, the plan. And then the environment is such that we're expected to defend the plan. Even when the first time we roll it out, there may be some glitches and it's time to reevaluate and then do it again.
The plan.
She reminds me of that little character from
Tattoo.
Tattoo, like the plane.
It was an awful accent.
Tattoo from
So,
Fantasy
like,
Island. I don't know if that was necessarily trying to mock the French people, but it sounded pretty bad.
Well, I mean, when you do a poor impersonation,
Right, it sounded pretty bad.
and this is being like not even looking at politics.
Yeah.
Like that's not even. I'm not even standing on like a fence.
Sure.
I'm looking at someone just being like, you're going over there as the vice president of the United States.
Yeah.
And you start talking like this.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not a good look.
Yeah.
It's not a very good look.
Especially in 2021.
So, especially in a culture, internationally, we're all woke now.
Yeah.
No, we're not all woke, by the way.
Yeah. Have either of you guys watched the Dave Chappelle special?
I
yet?
have not.
I have not yet, and
You
I
guys-
will.
You guys need to
I know,
watch that.
bro. I know.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
Yeah,
it's
it's
on my
good.
list. And props to Netflix for keeping
staying-
it up
standing
there.
I was
behind
going to
them.
say, have they decided to keep it up?
Just
Yeah,
when I
so
thought,
far.
like, you know, after all that whole like preteen fucking erotic dancing show that was on there that I never watched, by the way.
What was that?
That was an exploit to like young, like fucking
Yeah, I
pedophilia
forget-
right
I
there.
forget what the name of
Look,
that
I'm
show
not like
was.
one of those like major like extreme Baptist people who like
Here.
crushes sex.
Let's back you up off the mic just a hair.
Crushes sex
Getting
all the time.
excited.
Yeah.
But look, it was very inappropriate for young girls to be on there
Yeah.
and wearing like fucking just nothing.
But
nothing.
What do you think about the TNT or whatever the Dallas cheerleaders that they do all that shit?
Well, they're grown women. They can do whatever the fuck they
But
want.
still, man, that's just fucking creepy
But
when they're like,
they-
oh, and they're crying, dancing's my life.
Yeah.
No,
It
come
is-
on.
It's
Dude,
weird. The
it's
whole
pa-
thing's weird.
It's
Right?
pathetic.
Yeah.
It is,
Right?
you know, and it's.
But yeah, no, with kids.
But with kids, it's different.
Yeah,
They're
man.
children.
I'm
They're
trying to remember what the
children. They
name of
don't know
that
any
show
better.
was. You remember the name of that show?
I don't know, but like, adults control what they do on stage and on the show. They control the content. They control what's going out. I mean, maybe it's me, like being a father of a daughter.
Oh, I'm sure that's
and,
part
like,
of it.
Thinking
of
about
course.
thinking it from that way, but like, it's definitely totally inappropriate.
think there's pederassness going on.
If I was
Absolutely.
if there are pedophilers out there, which they are, obviously.
I mean, of course there
Look
are.
on fucking line, you can see where they live at. Shit.
Those are only the ones that get caught.
That's right.
You know,
but like
there's
they're
way more out
they,
there than
they
that.
are definitely fucking jerking off to that shit.
Hey, did I tell you guys? Actually, no. I think what I'm about to say ties into that to what we were talking about, that show.
Thank God it wasn't jerking off to that shit. Whew.
So we all
Didn't know where that was going, Dave.
I was like, God, this podcast will be canceled.
So we all
right
know
now.
we all know how much fucked up shit was going on with USA Gymnastics with Larry
yeah.
Nassar.
Oh, with that
all of
fucking
that.
pile of shit.
I can't.
That
I
fucking
can't.
guy.
Yeah, I can't remember if I've told you guys this or not, but Real Sports did a story recently about U.S. cheerleading.
How about that?
And all of the fucking creeps that have worked at that place.
Oh, you
Come
got
on.
And
right.
so one of these guys.
Think about it, man.
Of course there
One of
have
these
been.
guys was on one of the shows on Netflix. They did a show, on cheerleading or whatever, and the dude that was on the show ended up having to go away.
No kid.
For a
Get
long
the fuck
time.
out of here, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So I think any place where you have the dynamic like that, where you've got all of these, kids in a small area, you're bound to attract some fucking creeps, man.
Yeah.
You know?
After I saw that, I'm not after I saw it,
the
but
church, obviously.
when I saw
Right.
when I saw it on like a social media headline about how this show on Netflix has young girls, like preteen ages, like they're out there exotic dancing and shit like that. Not like for like at a bar or anything, but like that's their whole like stage thing. That's their whole presentation.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? Netflix is really going fucking south for me. Like, but then like when I sold the whole Dave Chappelle, I was
Yeah.
like, good for you, Netflix.
Yeah.
Like you're standing up for something. You're standing up for freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
You know what I mean? Like Dave, we all know who Dave Chappelle is. We talked about this on the podcast before. This dude goes after everyone. He goes after
everybody's
different
open.
races of people,
Yeah.
different religions of people, different sexualities of people.
But that's what makes it funny, because he goes after everyone.
Right. So what's the difference? Oh, because he hurt your feelings?
Well, would George Carlin be, funny today?
Yeah, he would, because I still laugh at his
Well,
shit.
I would, yes,
He
I
would be
but
funny,
if he was,
but he
wouldn't be relevant.
They probably wouldn't put him on today.
Well, you can't really do that because, like, he's from a different era, dude.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Oh, I know,
You
but
know
that's
what I
what
mean?
I'm getting at. Like,
Yeah.
it's a different time now.
Right.
I just think that
We
people
expect a different kind of funny.
Yeah.
Dave's still bringing that shit from, like, the early 2000s.
I feel
which
like
I appreciate.
people have forgotten how to like think with a little bit of nuance because again,
Yeah.
if you watch that special, it's clear that he does not hate transgender people.
No.
He's not
It's
trying
not-
to be mean to
I feel like it's
transgender people.
just the opportunity.
You mean the opportunity for them to cancel him?
No, for them type of people to just have their piece now.
Uh-huh.
They're just going to use any little thing
Sure.
that they can do.
Mhm.
They're going to grab a hold of that and then just roll with that. So that's right up there with like selfie, culture.
Yeah.
We're going to grab onto this little piece. We're going to rail it till however many people still listen.
Yeah.
And we'll get our 15 minutes of fame.
And that's what they're doing. They're taking, one or two of his jokes out of context.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
they're missing the big picture. of-
Exactly.
Of,
And that
the- of the
happens to
thing.
everyone now.
Mhm.
Like, anyone who's famous, they take just a little snippet of
That's all
what
they
they
need.
said, and they just push that narrative.
Yeah.
And it's fucking disgusting, because if you go back and watch the whole thing, you're like, well, guess what? That's not what he said. That's not totally what he... And we listened to that one piece. You could, the 3 podcasts ago, we talked about it,
Mhm.
and we brought back Dave.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't malicious at all.
No.
On what he said.
No.
It's the same shit that he's been saying for the last fucking 25 years.
Right?
Dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing.
Like,
You're right.
Are you all, like, for a generation of people who grew up on South Park, you are all a bunch of fucking pussies.
Yeah, but do you think it's? I mean, some of it is people from our generation, but I think a lot of it is younger generations. And I understand, like, societies progress over time, and things that weren't previously accepted are accepted.
Are now accepted.
And I think that that's the natural progression. But I am with you, Maddie, as far as it's reached the point of absurdity.
Yes.
Like, do you want a society of just vanilla? Because, like, that's what these people want, dude. They just want everything to just not be entertaining, or, like, if whatever's entertaining, that's what they want.
I feel
that
like
to be the mainstream.
I feel like they want everything in bubble wrap.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be safe.
It's
no
not like that
corners. Everything's got to be rounded off.
Yeah.
It's not like that here. This is the land of free speech. And you know what? There are consequences to that. But I mean,
you're free to say whatever you can.
But there are always,
or whatever you want, but there's no content.
there will always be people that will always be like against it and trying to Karen it out.
Yeah.
Do a Ken or a Karen and like just call people out and try to get them canceled, try to get them fired, whatever they can do to like ruin someone else's life because they don't agree with what you're saying. And on your side, what you're saying is, like what we're saying tonight, and I'm very avid against cancel culture. Like I think it's just,
But
it's wrong.
isn't it their right
But it's
to
their,
say that?
That was the point that I'm just going to make.
Yeah.
It's their right to say that because they have this. They have the freedom to say that too.
Right.
So you know what? But I think they try to cross the line way too far, and try to ruin our lives in their way of trying to have everything bubble wrapped.
Yeah.
I feel like that comes straight from those kids that were raised who are now adults and their parents were helicopter parents. They were always on them, they were always right there.
Yeah.
Little Johnny Falls, daddy's right there. Hey buddy, I got you, Never let them go too far. It was always helicoptering and hovering over him, keeping him safe.
I never heard my dad say "I love you" until I was like in my late 20s. When I moved away from Philadelphia.
I can remember my dad saying it twice in my entire life. So yeah.
And when I fell, I got back up. My dad was like, "Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're hurt or you're okay?" And I was like, "I'm okay." Like he hit me in the face with a fucking softball one time. We were having a catch. And he threw the softball, and I missed my glove. I remember this. It was so traumatic to me when I was a kid. I might have been like 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
And I missed the ball, and it hit me directly in my nose and my eye right here.
Damn.
It was a center shot, and it hurt so bad. It was pounding so, like, just, it was a terrible experience.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, are you okay? Like, he didn't hug me or anything. He was just like, look,
right?
this is how life is. You got to just suck it up.
Yeah.
And that's how our generation was, man. Like, I know Scott's dad was probably very similar to my dad.
Mm-hmm. He was
in a way.
tough.
He was tough. They're tough back then, man.
He was an ass. He was firm, but he was fair.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
But I feel like a lot of people who are like part of that cancel culture now, who are younger, who are like probably like in their mid-20s to like, I would say like beginning of their 30s. We are like, no, I don't know.
You know what? People were different, though. When we were kids, people were different. You had older people who you knew were going to say something, right? You always had that one old lady that would come chugging in, and you knew she was going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had, these other guys who you knew they would never be a problem. You could do whatever, and they'd be totally fine with it. And then you'd have other old guys who would just come in and just tell you everything that they had.
Yeah.
I just feel like old people were different then. Now, everybody's had to have... they probably had parents like that, and now they're older, like we are.
Well, the generation now who are in their 70s and late 70s are the boomers.
They're the boomers.
The boomers are there now.
They came about after World War II.
Yep.
Yep. That's my mom. That's my dad.
That's my mom and dad, too.
Mm-hmm. The greatest generation.
Wow, that wouldn't have been my mom and dad. My mom and dad came around 42, 43.
They were the children.
So they were before.
So they were before the. My mom was born and then like immediately had to go to some relative's house because her mom and dad had to go away to war.
How about that?
Like my grandpa got drafted and they came down to Missouri, got married.
Well,
they spent a week together. Like
what
a weekend.
war was that, Scott?
World War II.
Wow. How about that?
Wow.
And then he went off to Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, like our parents.
It was something, man.
Excuse me. All of our parents, like, they are the children of the greatest generation.
Yeah.
People that, like...
I guess that would be
like,
my
how
grandpa,
many people
my
would
grandpa's generation.
fucking... If we had some kind of Nazi regime going on, which there is right now in North Korea, but we don't give a fuck about it. But, like, if there was in Europe, how many kids would storm the beaches of Normandy?
Oh, God.
Like...
No,
it wouldn't be as...
They'd storm Twitter.
They'd have to bring back...
Well,
they would storm
it
Twitter,
would have to be a different
Twitter,
battle.
let's go to Twitter and just type whatever we can in.
There's not enough Americans you can draft now. We're all overweight. I mean, what are they going to do?
That's a fair point.
That's what
you got a bunch of fat kids running around. You just can't do anything with those guys.
Yeah, an age of video games and
see
virtual
those
reality.
video games though. That's what's going to pay off because you're going to have virtual warfare eventually. We're already kind of doing it now, where you have kids. That same fat kid, he may not be able to run and storm, but he could fly a virtual plane
That's
half
true.
across the world and bomb somebody.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's
a good point.
You think eventually it's going to all be robots, man?
I think eventually,
Intelligent,
yes.
yeah, definitely artificial intelligence for sure.
Those Boston Robotics robots,
yeah,
those look scarily like troopers.
Yeah.
So
they got backpacks and shit.
Dude, there's a if you have Disney Plus,
I do, yeah.
There's a thing on artificial intelligence on there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen this guy.
I haven't. But
I haven't
I know
either.
what you're talking
It's
about.
not too far off.
Yeah.
It's
no, it's here, man.
It's here.
They have
yeah.
legit scientists and also like inventors on there.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Of artificial intelligence. Like they're like professionals of it.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like what they think is going to happen in the next 100 years.
That all basically started with video games. That was like the first. That was the first time I ever heard the term artificial intelligence.
Really?
Was when I was reading about video games as a little kid.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, AI.
It's going to be like the artificial intelligence versus the aliens in the future, man.
Yeah, because the artificial intelligence will already have gotten rid of us.
They're going to take all of the jobs. They're going to take everything. They're going to have to pay them that much.
You joke, but that is coming.
Thank God I won't be there.
It really is. That's on its way.
You might be there, bro.
Fuck you. I'm not going to be 103. Like, I'm going to pick my ass again today and
I don't
see
know.
what it
I don't
smells
know.
I don't
like.
want to live that
I
long
don't know
either,
if an
dude.
artificial like intelligence could do what we do. We bring that human element to it, you know.
I often
They will never have the emotion that we have.
You know, I've
because
seen,
that's human, dude. That's
Right.
fucking human.
Well, they have
You can't
artificial
teach a machine
intelligence that has created
Another?
like musical. No, I'm talking about musical pieces. They've got songs that were completely
Yeah.
created by artificial
Yeah,
intelligence.
and art.
But we have to enter that
Yeah.
artificial intelligence. We have to enter it in.
I just read where
Well,
the Google
Like
AI.
we don't. They don't like naturally have that. Like we have to enter that into them,
Mhm.
and then they can like program it and make it their own. Like a human being when they're learning music can just learn and create and more. But like with artificial intelligence, like they're always going to have programming.
Yes.
Yes, but
You know.
if they're smart, they can program themselves.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
thing with
hopefully they
artificial
can,
intelligence.
That's
man.
the thing, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. Well, I just read where the Google AI, I don't remember what it's called, whatever
Deep
Blue. I don't think it's something like that. I don't know.
Who knows?
It's the Google AI though. It's
Uh-huh.
creating its own
Google.
AI.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's
Really?
Right.
That's comforting.
Well, just think like
Yeah, right.
like
Skynet.
like Siri
Yeah.
on my iPhone. That's AI.
Mhm.
Like the Google that you just had earlier.
Yeah, Google on my phone.
He's like, "Where's my phone?" And it's like, "I'm here." like-
Google just popped up. She's like, "Yes. What
So
the hell?"
like
Look
20
at
years
her.
ago, it would have been like, "Holy shit,
Yeah.
that's fucking crazy."
Right. I couldn't find my phone earlier,
That's
and
so-
I yelled, "Okay, Google," and she popped up, and I was like, "Where are you?" And Matt was like, "What do you?" Oh, and she just started talking.
Dear God.
Right.
So then I did the same thing to Siri, and she's like, "I'm here."
I'm over here.
So whenever I lose my phone, I'm like, "Siri,
Yeah,
where are you at?"
Where you at?
Yeah. Wow, I've never done that. I use the Find My iPhone feature when I lose my shit, but it
Really?
doesn't talk to me. It
Yeah.
just beeps at
It just
me.
beeps.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I may have done that once or twice.
You know, they've got those. What are they called? Apple just released these little tags that you can put on things to track them with.
Oh, the geo whatever tags.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're
I
talking.
think maybe they're called air tags or
Yeah,
some shit.
something like that.
But I need one of those.
Yeah.
Because you're talking to a guy that like lost his wallet a month ago. I would love to know where my wallet is at this exact moment.
So, dude,
probably in a landfill.
did you guys see that whole show at Travis Scott and those people? So,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, I heard
apparently
about it.
9
I didn't
people
see it.
died and like
Yeah.
over 300 people were injured.
Yeah.
And then
I
like,
read where there was a Texas A&M student who's brain dead. And
is
she
that
died.
right? Get the fuck out
She
of
died.
here.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
just
Was
happened
she like
today.
super young?
Mm-hmm.
My
I
God.
think she was like 21 or under.
I think she was 19.
She was an
Yeah.
A&M student, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I can't
It's
remember.
terrible.
Did
I think it was the 9th person. Now that you
Yeah.
mention it. Yeah.
Did we talk about this last
No, we
weekend?
didn't. No, we
No,
we
we
were
didn't
too
even-
busy.
we didn't
talking
even
about
touch on
things.
it.
You guys have heard the whole. There's stories of people that were stabbing people with syringes.
Yeah,
you guys
yeah,
heard
yeah.
about that?
Is
There
that
was-
a real thing that
So
happened?
There was allegedly some security guard that they were stabbing him with a syringe.
Yeah.
With what, like
I
a
don't
drug?
know. I don't know.
We don't know.
That's what I'd heard. They were sticking him with drug needles and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
At some point, somebody was saying that it was like a coordinated thing. So, I don't know.
I feel sorry for Gucci because they had a whole like spring and fall and summer line built around this dude, Travis Scott. Whoops.
Well, he's from Houston.
Whoops.
Okay, so apparently the cops have backtracked on the needle prick theory.
Oh, okay, right on.
So apparently they've pulled that back.
Just a little prick.
Yeah. Police confirm no one was stabbed with drugs at
Good.
Astroworld.
Thank God.
Okay.
That's frightening.
Well, how in the fuck? Because it was the police that said that happened in the first place. How do they put that out there?
I don't know.
And then
Maybe it was all speculative.
I know it makes me. It doesn't make me want to go to a.
Doesn't make you want to go to a concert, right?
Or specifically like a hip hop concert.
What the event promoters had established for the event. They did have a medical component. They did have some transport units, but of course they were quickly overwhelmed. Over 300 patients were treated at the field hospital that was set up out here at this location.
That's Houston.
Houston Fire Department Commissioner.
300 people.
And from what I understand, like people were like yelling up at the stage, like, "Dude, stop the music!
Yeah.
Something's
Yeah.
going on out here."
That's the thing. That's what we're going to be hearing a lot more of, I'm sure.
I'm not the, I wasn't there, so I can't make the past judgment on it, but
yeah.
There's
a lot of videos out there.
But there's been like, so when the ambulances were trying to enter and trying to help like who needed it,
yeah,
people were like dancing
Yeah,
on
they
the
were in the
hoods.
way.
Yeah,
dancing.
I heard
they're
about
just
that.
doing whatever they can. Like, I don't think it was malicious. I just think they didn't know what was going on.
I think that's just people.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, look at the lights, man. I'm fucked up. Yeah,
Exactly. I'm fucked up.
They were dancing in
Oh,
front of
hey.
him.
Yeah, well, I mean,
They were at a concert, man.
the thing had been going on for like a half an hour or so before they shut it down, I think.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
I saw there was somebody filming like backstage, and there was a girl who had jumped up from the stage, and she was pleading with the cameraman to shut the show down.
Jesus.
And I guess he couldn't.
Yeah.
But
Being in this crowd is literally a life threat. That was apparent.
This morning, a frightening new glimpse into the Astro World tragedy. EMT Remington Richardson detailing how he tried to save an unconscious girl caught in the crowd as a sea of
Look at all
other
those
fans
people.
begged for help.
I did my absolute damnedest to provide the best care I could.
The music so loud, he says, radio calls for backup went unheard. The chief of the Houston Fire Department also admitting to CNN a glaring lack of communication with concert organizers during the event.
No, we didn't have, on scene, we did not have direct communications with those organizers, no.
Concert organizers had 2 security plans in place, but did not respond to NBC's request for comment. The fire chief also telling Savannah rapper Travis Scott bears some responsibility.
Do you believe the performer, Travis Scott, should have called an end to the concert once he saw what was taking place in front of the stage?
That's the real question.
Look, we all have a responsibility.
Right,
Now, 5 days later,
heard he went to a
some
party
victims
afterwards.
still fighting to stay
Yeah, and he went
alive.
and
didn't
like
know about
9
it.
year
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He went out and ate somewhere, too.
This kid was there. This 9-year-old.
old Ezra Blunt,
Back up
who
just
fell
a
into the
hot minute
crowd
there.
when his
I think he went to like Dave and Buster's that night.
No
I think.
kidding.
I'm pretty sure that was what I saw, yeah.
Ezra Blunt, who fell into the crowd when his
God.
dad
Yeah.
passed
Let me
out.
make sure I'm not
He's
just making
now
that up.
in a medically induced coma
That's fucking horrible
with
if
severe
that's the
brain
case.
damage, severe
Yeah, Dave
kidney
and Buster's, I
damage,
know
and
it's fucking
severe
horrible.
liver damage.
No.
I know, I'm just fucking.
Fighting for his
I
little
mean, he's
life.
going to this big Dave and Buster's type place after that happened. That's
Well, so this guy brought his 9-year-old, and now the guy has like fucking brain damage.
right. God, man.
Darius Williams hired his event staff the day before the concert, quit before the show began because he says he felt they were undertrained.
So I don't feel like safety
Yeah, the party
was
was at
really
Dave
taken
and
in
Buster's.
consideration for the staff nor the attendees of the festival.
But Scott has had problems at his concerts before. At a 2017 concert in New York City, Kyle Green says he was pushed from a third-floor balcony during
Jesus.
Scott's show, leaving him partially paralyzed.
Oh my God.
Green sued, alleging Scott incited mayhem and chaos through his conduct. In court papers, Scott has denied the allegations. That lawsuit is still ongoing. This morning,
Who the fuck is this guy anyway? I never heard of him.
He's a big rapper, man. He's been around for a while.
For real?
What's
Yeah.
some of the
Well,
stuff he
I-
puts out? I mean, would we know it?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
sources
Yeah,
close to
probably
Travis Scott tell NBC News that after performing on stage at Astroworld on Friday, Scott
He
went
had
to
a
Drake's
huge album
after
that was
party
called
at a
Astroworld.
Dave.
Well, he's out there with Drake, so you know
Yeah.
it must be big.
Yeah, well, apparently Drake spent $1 million at a strip club the night 8 people died at the Travis concert.
Him and Kanye have
So-
done some songs together too.
So
him
they
and
weren't
Travis
caring
Scott.
about it.
Yeah.
They weren't worried about the victims.
Even Busters.
They may not
And
have
that
even
Scott was
known
un-
about
Well,
it. to be
according to
honest.
TMZ, they were unaware of exactly what had happened.
Oh, because there's Twitter and all that shit and social media, videos just going fire the night of.
Right.
I mean, I can.
You'd like to think.
I could understand the theory that while he was on
Come
stage, he didn't know what was
These
going on.
guys are on fucking social media.
Because
Right,
when you're on the stage, you got lights in your
You got-
face.
right.
You can't really see what's
is
going
super
on.
No, but I'm
in
talking
front
about
of
like
you.
the post fucking
Yeah, no,
After
I'm with
Effects.
you on that one. Yeah.
Like if you heard like you got off stage and certainly someone said something to you when you were done performing.
Right.
It said there was a bunch of shit that happened.
Great show,
But
man.
let's go out
roll.
and fucking get some
go to
champagne
let's
and
go to
fucking
Dave and Buster's.
Let's go
party
get some
it up.
Henny at Dave and Buster's, baby.
Show some fucking like.
There was
some
another
remorse
video
for the people who
there was
fucking
another
died in
video
it,
that
man.
came out of them hauling this girl off over this barrier, and they drop the girl,
Yeah.
and she hits her head.
Damn.
Drake
Yeah,
is
man.
such a fucking douchebag.
I
looking
hate
guy.
that guy, man. Never liked that guy.
He just has a face I just want to fucking
Me
punch.
too.
He does have a very punchable face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a fucking beanbag fucking face.
He's not a good rapper.
He's not. He's a fucking Disney character.
He is. That's why I like him. You know, if you take him seriously, you're like, this guy's a fucking tool. But if you take him as a joke, he's pretty good, really. You
Fair
know?
enough.
I like that. You know, there's something else that happened locally, fellas, that we haven't talked about. You get, the Asian gal that was up at Columbia that went missing a couple years ago, and they drug the river like 4 or 5 times. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Her husband just got convicted of second-degree murder.
Wow.
So they found her.
Look at that. Oh.
They found her not too long ago, if I remember right. She was buried.
I do remember this.
Yeah.
This case has been going on for like
It's been
3
going on
4
for
years,
yeah,
right?
just about as long as I've been here.
What's the guy's name?
So it is Joseph Etledge.
Elridge, I think.
Elridge.
Is it Elridge or
Is he
yeah,
from
it's
JC?
Elridge.
Yeah.
ELLEDG.
Did you go to school with him, Dave?
I don't think so, but I know our buddy Brian Houseworth has been at that trial.
Right,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
So a
that's
Missouri
right,
man
yeah,
who
yeah.
admitted to burying his wife's body and misleading authorities about her whereabouts convicted Thursday of second-degree murder.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
So they finally got him and nailed it down.
You win some, you lose,
lose
some. But you always.
But you live to fight another
live
day.
to fight another day.
Anytime I see something like that happen to a guy, I try to put my mind in the space that his space must have been in after he did that, and it would be so heavy on my conscience. Like I would confess before I got caught.
I'd kill myself.
Just to clear my conscience, man. You know what I mean?
I'd kill myself if I did something like that.
So you'd pull the boyfriend from Gabby.
Oh, yeah.
You'd just go out and you'd walk the earth.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you know that once you're caught, like your future's not going to be all that bright, at least for a while.
But
you
you'd
know
still
what?
be alive, though.
Maybe.
Yeah, but maybe that's not,
But maybe
you know.
he thought about it after he did it, and he just couldn't live with it.
Maybe he had guilt.
So
Hopefully he had guilt.
I know it
sometimes that's
says
the way
he
it
married
goes.
her after
Yeah.
they moved to the U.S. from China to study at the University of Missouri.
Shit.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of Asian folks in
It's
Colombia.
I remember it was messed up. They're calling this dude, quote, a stone cold killer.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's probably going away for life.
Straight from JC,
Probably
baby.
so.
I don't know. We have the death penalty in Missouri.
We
You never
do.
know.
He might be going away for
He may be going away for the rest of it.
Plus more.
Yeah.
He might be getting a intravenous of
Yeah.
something.
Might be getting a needle full of fuck you is what he
Yeah.
might be getting.
Peace out.
Yeah, peace out, homie. That's for sure.
Speaking of peace and out, I think
Let's throw out some love to some people.
Let's do that.
So, like Sir Biscuit Strength,
The homie Taylor.
JT and the Paranormal Sun,
yes, sir.
out in Tower Studios in
That's
Auckland,
right.
New Zealand.
That's right. Check his podcast out.
Yep. Check out the Paranormal Sun.
If you're into weird
putting out
shit.
new content right now. And check out our friends at the JT, or,
The
excuse
JT?
me, the JC Paranormal Society.
We got to remember a lot of letters around here, folks.
I
We're
know,
we're
man.
not always going to bat
I'm-
1,000, okay?
And I've been drinking, so
There's
Yeah,
some.
there.
They are some good people there.
I've had about 5 of whatever. So
Yummy.
It's delicious.
Whatever's my favorite.
We want to thank everyone for listening, though. We want to give a shout out to Roger Mertz, Angel. We want to give a shout out to Courtney. She's an avid listener.
Yeah.
Greta, Last Flight Brewing Company. The 60s Spirits store we all love, West Main Pizza. Who am I missing,
Hickman
boys?
Automotive.
Hickman Automotive. Bryce,
Yeah.
Bryce, what's up, brother?
Don't forget about Last Flight.
I just did.
Just saying,
I
don't
just-
forget about
Last
Last Flight.
we
Throwing
had
that out
so
there.
Mark
much
and
fun.
Jared and Will and those boys brewing up the best here in mid-Missouri.
Oh,
Some
man.
deliciousness.
Had so much fun out there the other day.
God, I did, right? It was a good time.
Yeah, I can't wait to do it again.
We're going to do that again. Maybe
Oh my
like
God, so much.
I'm looking like at January probably, like, you know.
That'd be cool.
Sounds
After the
great to
new
me.
year happens, we can
We need to think of the next episode that we make a milestone.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. We'll have to do some math to figure that out.
I was gonna say do something at 100.
I mean, you would have to
Yeah.
do something for 100.
For
right?
sure,
Right.
that's a big milestone, and
the
that's
s-
like about a half a year away, right?
Huh?
I think so.
Yeah.
Ish, 23 weeks.
I don't know.
23 weeks.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
it's just a hop skip. We'll have it. In
Did
no
you guys
time.
think that this would, when you started this podcast, did you think it would go
Well, dude,
100
we're at
episodes?
78 now.
This
Yeah.
podcast isn't anything like when we first started it.
No.
Yeah.
So
It's not.
it's so much better though.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, it's grown in ways that
Yeah.
none of us.
I said this to Maddie the other day. I think this is some of the best stuff I've ever done.
Yeah, man.
Same
know?
here, brother.
Yeah.
Me too.
Same
It's
here.
the only stuff I've ever
This
done.
is our this,
but it's pretty good. I
This
think.
is our outlet, man. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Until we see each other again on episode 79.
Yep, episode 78 in the books.
See you next time
on the old 77.
Peace out, bitches.
For a transcript of the old 77 podcast, write down everything the boys say.